So it's okay for you to have sex with a child.
Where does the Quran say that?
Huh?
I challenge you.
Doesn't it say?
No, it doesn't say that. There's nowhere does the Quran say that.
Okay, so Muhammad, he married.
Yes.
Who? At 6 years old?
Can you define a child?
Huh?
Can you define a child?
She doesn't have a free will.
You were about to say you were about to say under 18, which is a new modern definition of a child. A child in every dictionary was
so
someone.
You believe that a 6-year-old child...
Can I answer? I will answer. I'm not done answering. A child in the dictionary was always, until late 1900s, was always someone who didn't reach the age of puberty. Open any dictionary. Child is someone who didn't reach the age of puberty. When the Prophet ﷺ was with Aisha at 6 years old, that was a contract. There was no physical interaction between him and her.
But when she fulfilled that when she was 9 years old.
Yeah, but I'm going to finish what I'm saying, right? So when she, well, you're not allowed to say, right? So when she reached the age of 9, she herself said that a girl becomes a woman when she reaches the age of 9. What you're trying to do is you're trying to look at a 9-year-old of today and then implement that about the past. Do you know the age of marriage at the time of Jesus in Jerusalem? Do you know the age of marriage?
Huh?
Are you from this country?
No, I'm from Sweden.
Okay, in the West generally, or let's take the UK as an example, what was the legal, in America, what was the legal age of marriage 200 years ago?
I don't know.
Do you want me to tell you? In the UK in the 1880s, it was 7 years old.
Yeah, but do you know what kind of people
they were
that
Christians.
rule this world?
They were Christians. It was Judeo-Christian laws.
No, there were not
1800s.
Christians.
In the 1800s.
It's like King Charles. He's proclaiming to be a Christian. He's not.
Now we don't want to get into the politics. Look, I'm just saying in the past, they had their laws based on Judeo-Christian traditions, right? Why these people, that's true. Open the book of William Blackstone. It's called Commentaries on the British Law of England. You will see him.
Where does it say in the Bible that they married a young child?
But that's the point. The Bible doesn't have an age of marriage. Show me where does the Bible talk about the age of marriage. You can marry a 1-year-old according to the Bible.
Oh no.
Where, okay, show me where that says you
Show
can't.
me where in the Bible that it says that you can marry a 1-year-old.
No, it doesn't say you can't, which means you
exactly.
can. Okay, which means it's not wrong because there is nothing that prohibits you from doing it.
You're just interpreting it.
I'm asking you. Where do you get this idea that she has to be old from the Bible? Show me. By the way, there are Jewish people that believe
a child is a child.
No. There are Jewish. I agree.
She's not grown up
I agree.
to make her own decision.
Let me shake your hand on that. Aisha was not a child. She was a woman. She reached the age of puberty. She menstruated. And menstruation is in the last periods of puberty. By the way, women
as well, in the Quran it says here, you can marry one.
You see how I answered you without going to the Bible?
You can marry a child.
Yes.
And then you can divorce with her after 3 months.
It doesn't say that. You're misunderstanding what the Quran says. But there is something called nikah, which is a marriage contract. You understand? So that marriage contract is kind of a promise that person, you are married to that person, no one else can marry them. But that does not allow you to have intercourse or engage with that person in a sexual way. So I can do that with babies. And people do that. Even today, they still marry babies, right? They say, my baby is for your baby. They're going to get married when they're old. That doesn't mean now the babies are doing things with each other, right? This is a perverted mentality to have. I would say, honestly, we don't look at things this way. We see the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, from our perspective, was the best human being walking on earth at that time. So Abu Bakr, which was his closest companion, which cares about his daughter more than you would ever care because it's his own daughter, he made that contract with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ because he wants to secure the best man out there that exists. You probably, if you saw a man that you know his character was the best, you know his money was the best, you know that was the best person around, you would try to secure him for your daughter if you could. So you wouldn't know more than the mother and father of Aisha, and you wouldn't know more than her that she lived 50 years after the Prophet. She was the happiest woman. She praised the Prophet ﷺ for 50 years after him. She had all the right to say whatever she wanted if there was any abuse or anything, which what you're trying to say. She lived 50 years, 50 years. She was teaching Muslims. She was one of the biggest scholars. The companions used to come ask her questions because she lived with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. She described his life. She said, for example, Prophet Muhammad never put his hand on a woman ever in his life. That was how she described him. She said he was the most person controlling of his desires. Now let me ask you this question. Do you know how old was the first wife of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? You know how old she was? She was 15 years older than him. Do you know the rest of the wives of Prophet Muhammad? Wait. Do you know the second wife of Prophet Muhammad? How old was she? She was older than him, and she was a widow. Her husband died. And then all of the other wives, they were widows and divorcees. Does that look like someone who was trying to seek women, younger women, which what you're trying to put?